beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back to Well with Mika, where we talk real wellness for your real life. I'm Mika, your cultural wellness ally, and today we are asking the question: is exercise always good for your mental health? Now, it might seem like a bit of a myth that all exercise is good for your mental health, but there's some research that's saying that not exactly. And that's actually some good news. It's not bad news. So let's get into it, okay? So, first of all, please forgive me. I have a bit of a cough, so just ignore it. I'm sorry if I'm coughing in your ears, okay? So let's get into it. Now, you've probably heard it, and I know I've talked about it as well. Exercise can be a great stress buster. It fixes a bunch of ailments. Sometimes even if you're tired, you should probably reach for exercise along with getting good sleep to help with warding off that feeling of being tired during the day. And those things, that's all true, but it's not the full story. So apparently I was reading this article from some research from University of Georgia, and it shows that exercise can boost your mental health, but only when it's the right type, in the right amount, and in a way that feels good for you. Because here's the thing, when you force yourself through your workouts that you dread, those ones where you're like punishing your body because you think you quote unquote should do that, you are actually making yourself feel worse. All right. And that takes us back to my real wellness framework, right? Because what I talk about with wellness in general is it should be right for you and energizing, right? So that's part of the real, right for you, energizing, achievable, and lasting. Because if it's not right for you or energizing, odds are you won't stick with it. And so sometimes when we're feeling like I'm doing the things, but I'm not feeling great about doing the things, this article, this research brings it together as to why. If your movement doesn't feel right for you, or it's draining you instead of lifting you up, you ain't gonna stick with it. And your mind will feel it, okay? So let's get into something that we've talked about before, but it's worth mentioning again. Humans, we did not evolve to hit the gym, okay? We didn't evolve to hit the gym 5 days a week. And in the book Exercised by Daniel Lieberman, he explains that our ancestors, they moved, guess what? Because they had to, okay? They had to hunt for their food. They had to gather the food. There was dancing. There was building. There was playing, right? So movement was part of survival. It was part of family. It was part of fun. It wasn't a chore that you had to squeeze into some 5 a.m. routine and then feel guilty about it if you missed it. No, it was part of your daily life, okay? So now that our society has been built in a way that we sit mostly and now we have to structure our exercise, we have to operate a little differently. We have to think about it differently, right? I know you might be wondering now, but Mika, oh gosh, I can't stand any kind of exercise, okay? And that could be real, but I want you to rethink it. Think about it like this, because sometimes we do have to ask the question, chicken or the egg, right? Do you have to love it first, or can doing it help you learn to love it, right? Sometimes it's really just about showing up before you love it. That dance class, it might feel like you're running around like a chicken with your head cut off. Awkward AF, right? But after a few times, your brain starts to rewire. Then you get those feel good chemicals popping off inside. And then you're like, okay, I like this. The morning walk, it might feel boring at first, maybe if you're not used to just being in nature, walking. It might feel like crap, like trash. It's just a waste of time, but it's not a waste of time. And then if you're truly present, you can start to notice things around you, the birds, the breeze. You feel the sensation of actually having that mental break, of actually enjoying the movement of your body. And then it might start to feel really good to you. And it's something that you would end up sticking with. So yes, sometimes you can think your way into liking it. But, and this is important, you don't have to stick with it if it truly drains you, and that's, I think, where this article is going. It's not all or nothing. It's experimental. It's giving yourself permission to try, to pivot, and find what actually fits. And one thing that also helps is when you think about movement synergistically, so it doesn't feel like an extra burden. Go, if you have to go to the playground with your kids, or you have your kids and you want to exercise, play with them, climb, chase, swing, all of that counts. Plan active time with your friends instead of maybe dinner and drinks. Maybe you meet at a park and go for a walk. Maybe you take a dance class together, or Pilates class or something. Go hiking. Do something that might be fun and active instead of your usual go-tos. And then, of course, the usual, turn your chores into movement. Blast your favorite tunes. Y'all, I've said it a million times. That's how I get my cleaning done. Blast soca, blast some hip hop, and I'm good to go. If you need to sit for a meet, you work from home and you have meetings and you have to be on the computer, turn off your video, do some stretching while you're in your meeting. If you have to do homework with the kids, do it in a stretched position. You have to get creative and think out of the box and really try to fit these things, these movement minutes, into your daily, because it can be woven in and it doesn't have to cost extra money and it doesn't have to eat up hours that you already don't even have. All right. Now, at the end of the day, yes, movement is absolutely medicine, but only if it feels right for you. Like we said, energizing, achievable, and lasting. It's not about punishment. It's about giving your body and mind a chance to breathe, to play, to reset if necessary. So, here's your tiny challenge. I want you to look at your week. Just pick one way to move your body that feels doable, that feels fun, okay? You can either start with 5 minutes if that's all you have, and that's enough. Or you can pick something that really works for you, whether it's a class at the right time, whether it's doing something fun with your kids, whether it's scheduling that social meeting with your friends, doing something active, but do it, okay? And if you want more practical, no pressure ways to build real wellness into your life and really design a wellness journey that fits your personal life, go and listen to my Being Well ebook. It's available for free on YouTube, full of some just down to earth, real chill, real practical tips and mental models to help you shape your wellness journey. All right. You'll find the link in the description. And I hope and pray that you enjoyed this episode. If you loved it, you like it, listen to it again, share it with a friend who might need to hear it. And as always, until next time, happy healthing. Peace.